From Chicago streets to the courts beat, South Scott Dan on the podcast seat. Bulls breaking news, talking stats and views. Every player, every play, we never lose. Horns over hoops, we're the Bulls troop. From game analysis to fan scoop.
What is good, Bulls fans and Horniacs, and welcome back to another episode to the Horns Over Hoops podcast. We are your hosts for the evening, Sal Bass, Scott Berman, and Dan Gracie. Dan Gracie, what is going on? You look all excited and jittery today. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm actually tired. We have a lot of big orders at work. Working a lot, all-in-one monitors. The work is easy. It just sucks getting them in and out of the boxes.
Oh yeah. I get it. Yeah. Scotty B, you're awfully quiet over there. What's going on?
Not much, just hanging out.
Wonderful.
He's a chill guy.
Yeah. Before we get into it, let me just start off by saying, you know that meme with the dog with the hands in the pocket? That's the chill guy. Where did that all start?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
Where does anything start?
Yeah, because I had no idea what that was.
Twitter? I don't know.
Yeah, probably Twitter. And
just the internet being the internet.
Yeah, the internet will do that to you sometimes. But anyway, fellas, we're just going to jump right into this one because I am very excited. We are going to talk a little Bulls, but seeing as though it is the cusp of the All-Star weekend at the time of the release of this recording, we are going to talk some All-Star basketball. And good news, we actually have some Bulls-related All-Star content to talk about. So the best of both worlds. Let's get right into it by doing our usual status of the Bulls so far. Gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls are 20-28 overall in the standings. We are 2-8 in the last 10 games. That 10-game statistic keeps going down every time we record. And they're currently sitting 10th in the Eastern Conference, still battling for that play-in spot. Gentlemen, I know we said it last time as well. I know we stink, but now we've gone from stink to lousy. And I ask you guys this because the Bulls did make a lot of recent changes as far as substitutions and players not being active. So I'm going to ask this question right out of the gates, hot and heavy. Is the lack of success due to the player utilization? Is it correlated in any way to any upcoming trades for the trade deadline? Dan Grace either didn't understand the question or he also doesn't know. Basically what I'm saying is any of the players sitting down or not being active have anything to do with them potentially being moved?
No, I don't think so. Everyone knows that the Bulls are going to be selling at the trade deadline. Reportedly, they've gotten some calls from the Spurs for Giddey. I know Vooch is on the block. They already said that Vooch is on the block. Lonzo's on the block, and so is Zach. And I think that's one of the reasons why Zach is out, just so he doesn't get hurt.
Very nice. Scott Berman, you want me to repeat the question, or you got it?
I think the question was, do you think people are sitting out for trade reasons? Is that the gist of it?
For the lack of better, you condense that entire 4-sentence question.
I feel like you worded it weird. That's why I was just like, wait, what the fuck?
It'll happen. But yes, Scott, the answer to your question.
No, the team's just dog shit, and Zach LaVine is injury prone. It's pretty simple.
Okay.
But
that makes
luckily,
sense.
It's been low impact injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So he's only missing like 2 games. Lonzo Ball, he's only missing like 2 games, and then he's always sitting out back-to-backs. So I think the biggest injury we've had was Io, which was out for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was an actual injury. That one was pretty devastating, having him go down. He was arguably our best or most consistent player, that being said. But it did allow Lonzo Ball to see some minutes in the starting rotation. I'm going to ask a follow-up question before we go any further. How are you guys liking Lonzo Ball as a starter? As we all know, Lonzo is naturally a starter. He's coming off the bench for injury purposes. But how does he look starting? What do you think?
Since you're the hater, I'll let you go first.
I'm no longer a hater. And I think Lonzo, if Lonzo is healthy, he is our number one trade asset. But right now, he probably could play back-to-back. I think he just chooses not to and doesn't really want to push it. But when he's on the floor, he's our best defender. He's a floor general, so he can actually tell people where to go. We don't actually have another real point guard on our team. So Coby doesn't know how to run plays. Coby doesn't know how to set other people up. You get that with Lonzo. So seeing him be able to be a starter helps us a lot. And I think if someone's moved, it'll be him.
Yeah, I think you hit it right there on the head. But Dan, what do you think? The only true supporter of Lonzo Ball since the day he was drafted, Dan Gracie, here's your time to shine.
Me and my brother-in-law, Forrest, are full-blown Lonzo fans. He's the one that got me into Lonzo. Anyways, I think he's going to be traded. I won't be surprised if he's not, just because his injuries and everything, even though throughout the season, he's shown that like he can still ball, you know? I agree with Scott and saying I didn't mean to do that. I agree with Scott about him being our real only true point guard on the team. Like Giddey's a good passer and he has great court vision, but like Giddey's super tall. So like he was playing the 3 or 4 in OKC.
I think it was the 3 or the 2.
But yeah, I think it would be good if Lonzo started. Obviously not every game, but the games that Lonzo does play, like just give him the start. Mm-hmm. His chemistry with Zach is like insane. Mm-hmm. And he sets everyone up. He's our best defender for probably a hot minute, like literally a minute. He was probably our best 3-point shooter at one point this season.
Yeah, he worked on that shot.
So congratulations to Lonzo on coming back from this injury, I guess. I don't know.
No, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Yeah, all great points. I personally, in my opinion, I was like minus Dan, like Scott. I was not so much a Lonzo hater. I just didn't believe in him. I just thought that the injury he sustained was just too devastating of an injury to come back from, and much less be a starter. But now having him come back and having him just slide back so seamlessly, and not only just coming off the bench, but sliding into that starting role, and again, looking like he never missed a beat. Dan touched on his chemistry with Zach. It's like literally like they're brothers. Like Zach could be an honorary Ball brother because they are just like, they click so well. And you can really tell when Zach doesn't have Lonzo on the court, he's missing that player that knows where to pass the ball to, because Lonzo knows where you're going to be. That's one thing that's special about him. But as far as him starting in the starting role position, I wish we had more room and more, should say, leeway to be able to gamble on him again, because so far this year I've been enjoying some Lonzo Ball. But as we all know, he's on an expiring contract. He's had a couple teams interested in him as far as the trade is concerned. But so this is really our last year with Lonzo, and for Chicago, he's throwing a hell of a going away party. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if his value is low, how much is Lonzo making this year? Like 20 mil?
21.8.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say maybe try to package him with Zach, but that's so much money. That's so much money.
$62 million right there.
So never mind to that.
Yeah.
Never mind to that.
Yeah. And while we're on the topic of players moving in and out of the rotation, guys, our prayers have finally been answered. The Chicago Bulls gods have finally answered all of our demands, and they somehow put it in Billy's head to move Patrick Williams to the bench and start Ayo Dosunmu over him. Interesting. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
After a few games where, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. I hate to pick on the guy, but Patrick Williams had just had some lousy games. So
I mean, he's a bust.
Yeah,
Call it
yeah.
what it is. He's a
Yeah, well,
bust.
all right. So my question to you guys was it the right move moving Patrick Williams to the bench? And piggyback onto that question, was starting smaller Ayo Dosunmu at the power forward position the correct move to make?
Yes, it was the correct move to make to send Pat to the bench. He's been playing like absolute garbage. He just keeps getting, I feel like he just keeps getting in his own way. It's either that or he just straight up not good. And to put Ayo in at 3 is one, it's a Billy move. Like you could 100% tell like Billy's grand scheme, like, oh, what if I add another guard to the starting lineup?
Yeah.
It's weird, but like Ayo is one of our best defenders, so I get it.
Yeah. No, I get it. Scott, what do you think of Patrick Williams moving to the bench? And I know you're going to say yes, but how do you feel about the smaller sized power forward spot going to Ayo Dosunmu?
We've seen it before with Patrick Williams. He is the most comfortable off the bench.
Yeah.
Billy has put him, it's happened at least once a year that he gets put to the bench. And guess what happens? He starts scoring, averaging like 12, 13 points a game. I think he had like 7 rebounds last game.
Yeah.
We were talking about his inability to rebound, him getting 2, maybe 3 rebounds max. He had 7. I think he can't handle the pressure of being a starter, and he was kind of shoved into a spot that he was never ready for. So him coming off the bench, kind of being the go-to guy, is great for him. Ayo as a starter, who else are we going to play?
Yeah.
Like it's Torrey Craig's hurt. I don't think he's starter quality.
Yeah.
And then
THT?
you can't pay Sticks, because then we have no big men coming off the bench.
Yeah.
So there's no answer. Buzelis isn't ready to become a starter. Billy doesn't seem to trust him. He's come out several times saying that he doesn't really trust him over like 20 minutes because he doesn't play. He doesn't seem to feel the game enough. So really you have to start Ayo because he's the only one to fill that spot, I guess. Like, who else are you going to put?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I think the move from Patrick Williams to the bench was incredible. Of course, we're getting frustrated. Patrick Williams, not even a lack of confidence. He's been missing a lot of easy shots, and it's become rather like painful to watch him because we're literally watching him crumble before our very eyes. As far as starting Ayo, I like the move. I would rather us see I know I'm a fan of him, so I'm a little biased. I would like to see what we could do sliding Julian Phillips in there. For whatever reason, Phillips's minutes have just been going down. It could be a direct correlation to the fact that his shot really hasn't been falling like it used to, but he's still a hell of a defender. He still brings a lot of energy. So now is kind of our chance to develop our next men up. So having, of course, the size, putting Julian Phillips in at the power forward, I kind of would have liked that a little better, but at the same time, Ayo is producing. So if it's working, might as well stick to it. Right.
Yeah.
And of course, like Scott said, who else are you going to start? We lack size. It's almost like the Bulls. In order to make a Bulls roster, you have to be under 6'5", and we'll take you. You know what I mean? Like, we love our guards.
Give us 12 Nate Robinsons.
Yeah. Oh man, Billy's licking his chops as you say that. And again, we've seen a lot of players sit out. We're going to piggyback off of this, but one particular name that has been just released that he's going to be sitting out indefinitely is arguably our best player on this team, the trade-centered hot topic of the season and last season, Zach LaVine. Gentlemen, as you know, Zach LaVine is sitting down because his wife is expecting their 3rd child any day or within the week, whatever the timetable was. So my question to you, again, conveniently around the trade deadline, is Zach really sitting out because his wife is expecting their child? Or do you think the Bulls have a trade in line or heavily involved in trades to where they don't want to risk him getting hurt?
I think
That was another like 100
Yeah.
word question.
yeah.
You stumped Dan there.
Or
Or
I think his wife is probably going to pop any minute now. So I think that's why they sent him home. But I also do think it was because the trade deadline is coming up. He is on the block. He's been on the block for like 3 years now. Last year, we all know that he conveniently went into surgery like right at the deadline, so he wouldn't go to Detroit. Supposedly, that's the rumor.
allegedly.
But yeah, I think the Bulls did this so he wouldn't get hurt. His value is it's definitely higher than it was last year. I mean, Zach is a top 5 3-level scorer in the NBA right now. So I think this is a good move overall. It's good for Zach because he gets to spend time with his wife and his kids and his new child as well. And it's good for the Bulls because they don't risk Zach getting hurt. So overall, this is the best move they've probably made in 3 years.
Scotty B, I'm not going to repeat the question because we'll be here another 10 minutes, but your answer to the Zach question. How about that?
I kind of agree with Dan. He's shown enough that everybody knows what he is. And I think there's a lot more noise around him this year compared to previous years because of how much better of a player he's become this year and how much more of a team player he's become.
Yeah.
So he's shown enough. He's very injury prone player. So why risk hurting him or get him getting hurt with a week or two left before the trade deadline? So let him sit out. Bulls fans get to see how terrible the team's going to be without him, i.e. the Celtics game. But then again, it's the Celtics, and it just proves how much better the top of the league is compared to us.
Yes.
So,
well, except the Sixers.
Yeah.
well, the Sixers have a player that is a crybaby.
Yeah, I know.
And Tyrese Maxey has turned it on to another level this year and has stepped up and has shown that he should be the leader of this team and not Embiid.
Mm-hmm. I think the Sixers should trade Embiid. I understand that he's a great player and everything, but that stat that I think you, Scott, shared it with us where Embiid played 400 games and sat out 466 games is insane to me. Like,
Other way around.
Oh, was it the other way around?
Yeah,
But either way, 400. Either way,
sitting
out 400 games is wild.
Yes. And
do you know
Philly?
Do you know how many?
You should no longer trust the process.
I don't think Philadelphia does.
Oh, Philly.
Well,
I'm like, Philly.
I sent that video to you guys. It was like he sat out, and then the next day at practice, he's doing like handstands and stuff, and like jumping around. And it's like, what's going on? Are you just faking an injury because you don't want to be on the team anymore, or are you just staying healthy till the playoff time? Which who knows if the Sixers even make the playoffs?
I mean, they got playoff P, so who knows?
Yeah, who's also hurt because he messed his hand up against the Bulls.
Yeah, he's missed 400 games. That stat alone sticks out. I got a question for you guys. Do you know how many games Michael Jordan missed in his entire career as a Chicago Bull and in the NBA for that matter?
Do we count his gambling suspension?
No. No.
I honestly have no idea. I feel like it's like single digits.
Oh no, it's not that crazy. It's
he's probably missed like 60, 70 games.
96.
96.
He missed 96 games. And a majority of it was when he had that ankle injury. And I don't know if you remember where he was even playing through that, because I think if you remember correctly, Phil Jackson put him on a minutes restriction, and Michael Jordan was basically like, "No, I'm going in. I'm sorry. I'm staying out there. Sorry." But
that sounds like mine.
So yeah.
He did miss some games when he was in Toontown, but that was a whole different story.
Yeah, it's a totally different story.
Shout out the Space Jam episode. If you guys haven't heard it, check it out. It's a great episode. But that just goes to show you leaps and bounds, like the player that Embiid is and the player that Jordan was. And I don't know. I feel like Philly deserves better. I mean, I've never disliked the Philadelphia 76ers until Embiid started going on his tirade. Dan, I think the only reason why you dislike Philly is because of Joel Embiid. I think if they don't have Embiid, you wouldn't mind them. We got off topic there, but do I believe Zach sitting out is a direct correlation to his wife being pregnant or the trade deadline rather than his wife being pregnant? Yeah. Like you guys said, the guy's already proven what he can do. He's averaging some of the best stats of his career. He's already shown that he can play healthy. He's 40 something games in the season, and he hasn't even shown flashes of being injury prone. At this point, he's done enough. The Bulls have been in talks with Milwaukee. They've been in talks with several teams in regards to now teams actually have interest in Zach LaVine. Whereas last year we were talking about attaching first round picks just to take his salary off the table. And now it's like, well, hold on a second. Let me see what we can get for him. Now, granted, I will give you guys this. I still don't think the return on Zach LaVine will make it a fair trade. I think it'll be an okay trade, but I still think having a healthy and happy Zach LaVine on our team makes him just that much better. But unfortunately, as you guys know, if you listen to our last episode, a part with him is now necessary because it's just too late in that young man's career to start a rebuild around him. And I think that this team does need to march towards the future and start building for the future, I suppose.
Do it right this time.
Yes. The problem is that we do this thing called plug and play where, like DeRozan, we signed DeRozan at the back end of his career. Granted, we gambled on him, and it was a good gamble because he had some of the best years of his career. But the Bulls always have a knack for getting that aging superstar to come to the team. Cue your Dwayne Wades, cue your Rajon Rondos. I mean, I'll even throw Ben Wallace in there, even though Ben Wallace was arguably one of our better superstar signings. But Pau Gasol,
Hamilton.
Don't mention that name on this cast ever again.
That's a good one, though. It's a solid one. True.
That man is a thief for stealing
NBA champion. Rip Hamilton.
NBA.
Yeah. Guided by Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace.
No. Rip
Prince.
Hamilton. And Chauncey Billups.
There you go. I'll accept
Mr.
Chauncey
Big
Billups. Mr. Big Shot. Rip Hamilton. No, thank you. Gentlemen, moving on. All-Star weekend is right around the corner. If by the time you guys are listening to this, it'll be the upcoming weekend. But the Bulls do not have any representation in the actual All-Star game. However, we do have representation in the form of a dunk contest participant in Matas Buzelis. And rightfully so. Guys, if you've ever seen the game before it starts, the pregame, I guess we can call it, where he's just messing around and dunking, that man can throw down some dunks, dude. So having him in there is going to be fun to watch. I think he's going to put up some good numbers, and he's going to put on a show for the fans. But before we actually get into it, I have a serious question for both of you, and that is, can either of you name the last Chicago Bulls player who participated in the dunk contest in uniform for Chicago Bulls? Don't say like Zach LaVine. The last slam dunk contestant for the Bulls.
Well, okay. So obviously we all know it was Michael was in the dunk contest, but I feel like that's too easy of an answer.
Nope. Yep.
So Rip Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mac McClung was. He wasn't. He played on the Bulls, but I don't think he was part of the Bulls during that time.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Dennis Jones Jr. wasn't on the Bulls at that time.
Derrick Jones, no, he wasn't there.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's going to be someone.
Oh my God! Sorry, I just looked it up. I'm not gonna.
Oh, you cheater! You cheater!
I got no answer.
Well, Dan, since you looked it up, read it to the Bulls fans who their last representative in the dunk contest was.
So, in the NBA season 2006 going into 2007, our dunk contest representative for the Chicago Bulls was none other than Bulls legend Tyrese Thomas.
That is correct. Yes. And I don't know if you guys were watching that dunk contest. I did, just because I was a huge fan of Tyrese Thomas before he was Patrick Williams before Patrick Williams was a thing. He was He did terrible in that dunk contest. I'm sorry, that was poor. That was representation, but a bad representation that year.
Was that
But
the
do you
one
guys-
that or Nate Robinson jumped over Dwight Howard?
I don't recall. I don't think so. I feel like that was too recent. I feel like that was a little bit in the later years. It might have been. No, it was later. It was later. I know for a fact it was later.
It was Gerald Green. Well, maybe because Gerald Green, Dwight Howard, Nate Robb, and Tyrese Thomas.
Oh, then maybe you might be right. Actually, damn, Scotty B coming in with the stats. Yeah, but it's funny that like the Bulls like to sign former NBA or NBA dunk contest champions. They signed Nate Robinson. They signed Zach LaVine. You know, we've had a history of just liking the dunkers. I don't know if it's because it's something to
DeMar
put fans
DeRozan
in
should
the
have won.
seats. Oh
DeMar
yeah,
DeRozan should have won.
yeah, that was a good dunk contest. That was a great dunk contest. So, anywho, throwing it back to Matas, which is why we centered this episode all around him and titled "Why Matas Buzelis Will Win the Slam Dunk Contest this year." I'm calling it.
Bold.
I don't care.
Bold statement.
I'm going Chex Mix bold on this statement because it's the best one. He is going to win. But I'm asking you guys, gentlemen, will he win?
See, I can't say yes or no to that because the way it's judged and everything, like I feel like it's going to be Matt McClung that wins just because he's a name and he's known to be a dunker. But I mean, again, the judges are so shoddy every year. Like some of the judges score way too high. Some score lower than they need to. Like sometimes I feel like the judges, one judge is being petty for no reason or salty, and I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah, Dwayne Wade, when he gave him a 9, everyone gives him a 10. Dwayne Wade gives the dude a 9. Remember that year?
Just because everyone, what was that, like 2 years ago?
That was
Something
a
like
few
that.
years ago, yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to say if Matas will win. I'm going to be rooting for him. I hope he wins, but to say that he will win, I can't say that.
Okay. Of course,
if he doesn't, then I hope he's in second at least.
Yeah, that's a fair point. For those of you who don't know, I mentioned it earlier. He's going up against obviously defending slam dunk the champion Mac McClung, himself, Stephen Castle from the San Antonio Spurs, and then Jackson Jr. from the Milwaukee Bucks. So some good dunk competition there. There's those people got some hops, so I think it'll be entertaining. But Scott, will Matas Buzelis, Little Boozy Vert, whatever nickname you have for him, will he be hoisting the Slam Dunk Champion trophy this All-Star weekend?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Really, like I haven't seen him do a flashy dunk. He can dunk, and he throws them down pretty hard, but I've never seen him do anything flashy.
He has some flashy dunks.
Castle, same thing. All he does is just two-handed dunks. Like I've never seen anything. We've seen what McClung does, and then Jackson Jr., he can get his head above the rim. So
yeah,
that guy's got some hops. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like Dan said, I'm going to be rooting for him, but this goes back to superstars aren't doing the dunk contest. So these are all super young players that have been drafted in the last 2 years that are doing it. It's not like big names. Like, why isn't Ja Morant doing it? Why isn't Zion doing it? Like,
Zion's too busy eating.
yeah,
but like we don't have that anymore. Like we used to have. We were just talking about it. We had Dwight Howard in there. That was massive. You have Tyrese Thomas. He was what, top 2 pick, top 3?
Yeah.
Like
he
was
your Vince Carters, your Jason Richardsons.
You had LaVine, DeMar. Like these are big name players that have been in the league for a bit. Aaron Gordon, he was massively hyped. You had Blake Griffin. Like, we don't get that anymore. No one wants to do it.
No.
And that's kind of why people watch the 3-point contest more than they watch the dunk contest.
Yeah.
The judging is there's no qualifications. What's a 10? They just start throwing 10s out. Like every dunk is automatically a 10. It's there's nothing. It's just like you said, if someone's petty and wants someone on their team to win, they're going to do that. It's dumb.
Yeah.
They really should just get rid of it. It's dog shit.
Yeah.
It's the
Either-
one thing. I watched all of Saturday. I did not watch the dunk contest last year because it's dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either get rid of it or format it so it seems like it matters. Like with the judging, like have some sort of formula or something, or I don't know, like put an incentive for like the stars to actually participate or something. Because I mean, I would be upset if they straight up got rid of it just because it's been a staple
Yeah.
of the All-Star weekend. And it used to be cool. I think the last honest to God good one was the tie between Gordon and LaVine.
Yeah.
And
That
that
was like
almost 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I
it was
sent you
about 10
guys
years ago.
a video. The Cavs literally
The
had a dunk
Cavs?
contest at halftime. They literally brought in professional dunkers, and it was better than the dunk contest the NBA has put on the last couple of years. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't like. They're trying to bring in other people. Why don't you just bring in professional dunkers? Like that's
Yeah.
all they do is dunk and see who does it. And I don't know, give them a bunch of money. They're going to do it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
actually put on a
Give 'em
show
money, give 'em
because the
something.
players do not want to do it. Let people that are professional dunkers do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The problem therein lies is the amount of money that you'd pay these superstars, it really wouldn't compensate their salary. Like, all right, we're going to make, let's say we take it to the extreme. We're going to make the winner of the slam dunk contest get $1 million. I know it'll never happen, but I'm just saying the ultimate prize, $1 million. LeBron James is making almost $1 billion probably with all his incentives and what's $1 million to him? That's like squirting a squirt gun in the ocean. I mean, again, so on and so forth. You have, you know what I mean, though? Like, what incentive?
Yeah.
Some of these, like Zach LaVine,
tell them that they can sit out for like 5 games. Like you'll see flocks of superstars.
you'll get
going.
Embiid. You'll get Embiid. That's about it. But,
you'll get Harden. You get Kawhi.
yeah, you get all those people that are serial sitters, is what I call them, the serial sitter. But as far as
how much do you guys think first place in the dunk contest gets?
No, I have no idea.
I mean, I'm gonna say probably like
just get a trophy.
50K. 50K.
105.
Yeah, it's peanuts. Again, why, if you're a
But
superstar,
do you
why
know
would
who
you do that?
Mac McClung. That's why he does it, because that's
Exactly,
more
yeah.
than that's probably his whole salary, his whole year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe even more.
Exactly. So who are you going to get participating? It's going to be the rookies who don't make much or who have never sniffed real money yet. You're going to get the G League players. You're going to get the two-way players. That's who you're going to get. You're not going to get a superstar. And unfortunately, because of just how high the salary is nowadays, you may never see another superstar in the dunk contest ever again unless they truly, truly want the trophy. And again, in this day and age with injuries, no player really wants to weigh getting hurt and foregoing the millions and millions of dollars that he's guaranteed in his contract. And here's the thing, it's probably, I would be surprised if it's not the player themselves saying they don't want to participate, and it's like their agent, the team, the ownership saying, I don't want you participating. You make up an excuse and tell the media, but you're not doing it. You know what I mean? Not accusing anybody, but I wouldn't be surprised. Throwing it all back to Matas, he does have flashy dunks. He doesn't do them in games. I think it's just because Matas is a rookie. He's not going to go down the court and throw down some between the legs 360 dunk, because he knows that if he does that, he's going to get punished by Billy and have him sit on the bench. He's doing his rookie year. He's being the rookie. You know what I mean? He is being the rookie. He throws down some powerful dunks. And if you've ever been to the game, you guys haven't been to the game this year because you're on your boycott. He does some filthy dunks. Like Matas has got some dunks that'll make your jaw drop, but he does them in pregame because I don't think he is allowed to do those, or he knows better than to do them in the actual game.
I will say one reason he may win is because he's been working with Zach LaVine, and Zach can help him like develop some dunks or give him ideas. Well, we all saw that video of Zach throwing the behind the back dunk.
Oh
like,
my God.
show him how to do it.
Oh my God. I saw that video and I just was like, Zach,
he still got it
to come back. You have
he
to come
still
back
got
to
it.
the dunk contest.
Yeah. Again, another injury prone player will never happen, but that man still has it. I saw that where he recreated his behind the back dunk he did in the dunk contest against Aaron Gordon. It was just, it's still so smooth. It's so smooth. Why I think he might win, just because Matt McClung, he is known predominantly for being a dunk champion. Other than that, he stays in the G League, he gets called up, and he gets sent right back. He's known for his claim to fame is just he's won the dunk contest. So you can't really capitalize on that. Now, what's that? Twice. Yeah, twice. So the only thing that will stand against Matas winning the dunk contest is the NBA really, really, really likes the storybook endings. So what better storybook ending than Mac McClung winning back-to-back three-peat slam dunk champions? Yeah.
That's why I think it's going to be Mac McClung.
But accordingly, there's no future with Mac McClung in the dunk contest. I mean, here's Matas Buzelis, young guy, rookie. He'll be a dunker for a year to come. How much longer can Mac McClung really survive in the NBA? That's not to say that, he's going to fade away, but how much longer can he survive? He is a dunker. I don't know his stats, so forgive me if he's actually doing good and people are going to take to the internet. The man just had a 30-point game the other day. Cool. In the G League. What has he done in the NBA? Rhetorical question.
I'm looking up his stats, and this is probably NBA stats because every single game is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It's just zeros across the board.
Yeah.
He averages 5 points when he does.
Mac?
Yeah,
exactly. So we'll see. I still think he's going to win just because Matas is just, I don't know. That man's got some dunks. I don't even think he's shown the caliber of dunks that he can do yet. I think he's saving it for the big show. But while we're on the subject of Matas, last issue of this topic here is, do you guys think that participating in this dunk contest and turning those heads and throwing down those sick dunks, do you think that will earn him some more minutes and a bigger role on this team going forward, especially given the trade deadline coming up and especially given the downfall of Patrick Williams? Another 100-word question for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that Billy gives him more minutes, but like Scott said, Billy just seems to be like on Matas's ass about things. Like,
yeah.
I think it was 2 games ago when we played the Nuggets, or I don't remember. One game, like Matas made a very silly, basic little rookie mistake, like little tiny mistake, and Billy pulled him like immediately. And I was just like, it's just, he's a rookie. He's going to make these mistakes. You leave him out on the floor so he can figure it out on his own.
Yeah. One of the best piece of advice you can ever give somebody is you cannot learn from your mistakes if you don't make them in the first place. So if he goes out there and forgets to slide over to take the defender and he gets dunked on, or he allows someone to score on him, you're not going to learn not to allow that if you don't make that mistake initially. So Billy Donovan very much treating Matas Buzelis like a puppy. The second he makes a mistake, boom, you're back on the bench. And not only that, you're only going to play 10 minutes the next game. You know what I mean? And I feel like Matas is just too talented of a player to only give those limited minutes a game. So, Scott, do you think he's going to get more minutes?
Whatever he does in dunk contest won't matter with his minutes. I would say what happens in the trade deadline will matter more, because anybody we move, I think, will give him a better spot. But it really kind of just depends. What do we get back? Are we just getting picks back? Are we going to get players back? Because if we're getting players back, no, he's not getting more minutes.
Exactly.
Because we're getting some sort of decent player back for the players we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like say we get Looney from the Warriors. He's taking all of either Vooch's or Zach's minutes. So I really think he just kind of sticks around like 15 minutes the rest of the year.
And that's probably what you're going to end up seeing. Like you said, that was a great point. The trade deadline will have a big impact because, as you know, the Vooch trades, they've all been centered around players, albeit they're bench players and mediocre players at best. But on this roster, they will have more minutes than Matas Buzelis. And it's a shame because I think it's time to start building that guy up. And if he is the future, like we say he is, and the Bulls harp that he's going to be, why not take the necessary steps needed to start bolstering that theory? So either way, it's going to be a fantastic dunk contest. Just because Matas is in it. If he wasn't in it, I would not watch. So, but gentlemen, speaking of all-star games, I know you're excited for it. I'm excited for it. Are you guys excited for the new rule change? Okay. Of course, the
rule
rule
change
I'm talking about is well, not the rule change. I should say the format change, where it's no longer 1v1. It is a tournament style. Everything's a tournament now. I hate it. Go ahead. You like it?
I think it's interesting. I'm not gonna like just straight up shit on it because I mean this is the first time they're doing it, so I'm not gonna talk shit about something I haven't seen yet. So I mean, I'll watch a couple, but if I feel like it's gonna be dumb, then I'm gonna turn it off.
Okay.
So I mean, it's one of those things where like we'll see how this goes.
Okay, Scott, you gonna you excited?
No, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
but like I have a lot of complaints about the All-Star game, but I can get into those later. But after watching Unrivaled, the women's basketball 3-on-3 thing, that is what they should be doing. This 5-on-5 thing, I guess it's fine, but the 3-on-3 gives so much more spacing. It lets players actually play to their strengths, and it's pretty enjoyable to watch. Why aren't they should be doing that?
Was that half court or full court?
That's a full court.
Full court.
3-on-3.
Yeah. Shout out Angel Reese. I have mixed opinions. I wouldn't certainly say I'm excited for it. It's kind of one of those, well, let's see what it's got. As you know, it's the introductory year to a new rule. It's going to go either way. There's going to be some errors, there's going to be some upside, but as a whole, why does everything need to be a tournament now? I rather liked it when you had the best of the East, best of the West. I know I'm living in the past, but at the same time,
you old
what
fart.
was wrong with it? Yeah, no kidding. That's the thing.
Because there's no one that has a competitive spirit of what Kobe. He made sure people went all out. When Jordan and them, they were going against each other because they were like, they wanted to show that they were better. Yeah. We don't have that anymore. No one seems to care. You watch the games, they're just chucking up long shots and trying to alley-oop to each other. That's why.
As you know.
So might as well try to change it up.
It's because you know the Derrick Rose gif of him coming out All-Star weekend, and then he's the only one not dancing and smiling and waving and shit. Like that's the reason, because like every other star looks at this weekend as just like
it's a vacation.
Whatever. Yeah, you know. I mean, I understand they deserve a break. It's a long season, but I mean,
100%.
People pay good real money to see these players play all at the same time. Like, you better put on a show for them and not, stop, dicking around with yourselves and start putting on a show for these people. And they want to, they also want to see competition. So
yeah, that's a good point. That's the thing. Like I refer to it back to what I said about the dunk contest. It's like the NFL. Nobody plays in the Pro Bowl because there's such a fear of getting hurt. Nobody plays defense in the All-Star game because nobody's going to hard foul somebody and end their career or give them a season-ending injury just for the sake of a game that, quote unquote, doesn't really matter. So I think unfortunately, there's no real reason to solve the issue of the All-Star game. We're just going to have to continue see the softening of it. I'll just say it's not going to be competitive like it used to. The softening, it's getting soft. What do you call soft when it gets softer? It softens. Therefore, it's softening. It's in the process of softening.
The flacid.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just say flaccid. Just say flaccid.
I don't want to say flaccid
so much.
When I hear flaccid, I don't think of, you know what I mean? You know what I think of? This is a family show, damn it.
These players are really flaccid.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Flaccid.
Well, good segue into my next question I was going to ask you. Caitlin Clark.
Oh.
Not doing the 3-point contest. But gentlemen, nobody knows who's doing the 3-point contest. We all know the dunkers, but they have not mentioned who is doing the 3-point contest. Usually by now we know. why do you guys think that we don't know who's in the dunk contest or the
Or
3-point
three-point?
contest? Yeah.
I don't know, really. I mean, I'm assuming Steph is gonna do it, but like I don't know for sure. I think he will, just so it gets more like recognition on the contest itself. But yeah, I have no idea why they haven't, like, they've said obviously we know the all-star participants, we know the dunk contest participants. Do we know the skill challenge? I was trying to find that.
I'll be
I don't
honest
think
with you,
we
I forgot that was an actual event.
I mean, I
Sorry,
always do. I always do, but then when I see it, I mean, I don't not like watching it, you know?
yeah, no, I know.
While I look
Scott
this up,
Berman.
sorry.
Why we don't know who's in the dunk contest? That was
Yeah.
a question.
3-point. 3-point.
Oh, the 3-point. Yes. I think they really wanted to do another NBA WNBA crossover. And I know they invited Caitlin Clark and she said no. And I don't think Sabrina Ionescu is part of it too. And I think she actually just backed out of Unrivaled recently too. So she must be going through something. I think they're just trying to scramble and figure out what they're trying to do. But you actually get some big stars in the 3-point contest. Dame's been in it for years. Steph has been in it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kat or LaMelo will probably be in it. You might see Victor, since he's been taking, I don't know, 15 threes a game for some reason. So Peyton Pritchard's probably going to be in it.
That's a good name to be in it.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
You're going to get some big names in it just because it doesn't affect how they're going to play. No, they're not going to get hurt doing the 3-point contest.
No.
So
there is
see.
the
I don't think
conspiracy
Steph's going to be in
theory.
it though.
No.
You
Yeah.
don't?
No.
Sad.
There is the conspiracy theory that like after you participate in the 3-point contest, your stats afterwards go down. I don't know if that's enough to deter players to want to actually play it, but there is that.
It's definitely a thing with like baseball, the home run derby.
Oh yeah,
Is
yeah,
your stats absolutely go down.
yeah. I think it changes the way you shoot the ball. You know what I mean? Whatever. I mean, I think that you're going to see some names. I think the reason why you're not going to see the participants until a little bit later is because, like you said, I think they were just banking on Caitlin Clark wanting to do it. And then if she says yes, now you go to your Steph Currys, you go to your elite riflemen, and you say, hey, we need the best of the best because we want to see one hand washes the other. Her stack up against the WNBA or the NBA against the WNBA. And I personally loved it. Like the Sabrina Ionescu, that was a great show to watch last year. Arguably, that was the highlight of the All-Star weekend.
I'm pretty sure she made more than Lillard last year, who won it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they might as well, if I understand you want to do the whole Curry versus her thing, but might as well just put them in the 3-point contest as is, because they may win it.
Yeah. That's the thing. They have it's an open book. I'm doing a little open book thing. I would like to see more of it. Not just one. I would like to see a couple WNBA players in it. Mabry, former Sky legend Mabry, that woman can hit shots. You know, I'd love to see how they pan out in the league. I mean, I'd watch it. I think that's how you make it interesting. Like you said, I think Dan mentioned it. We do have the participants in the All-Star game. Any names, real quick before we move on, any names that you're either disappointed didn't make it or disappointed that they're not a starter? I'll let you answer either or.
I honestly haven't looked at who is in who made the. I know that LaMelo didn't, and everyone's butthurt about it.
That was a rather flaccid statement.
Am I the only person that's not butthurt about it? Because like my whole thing with LaMelo is like, when he's playing, he balls out. He's awesome. He's better than Zoe. He's, one of the young stars in the league and everything. But how often does he play? He's so injury prone.
Yep.
That like I see him more on the bench than on the court.
With his puffy pink coat.
Yeah, the fact that like everyone was so like up in a roar about LaMelo being snubbed and everything, like I was just like, I understand. He doesn't, like, he's on the worst team in the league. anytime I see that team, he's not playing and he's on the bench like giggling and laughing like it's a joke. Meanwhile, his teammates are being blown out.
Mhm.
So
Great point.
like that's fine by me if LaMelo's not in it. But who is in it?
Great point. Very good point. That I think that's, and again, I don't want to assume things, but I'm wondering if that's a direct reason why he was snubbed, so to speak, was because he needs to play. Granted, when he touches the court and plays, that man puts
Yeah.
up some numbers.
Yeah,
But
like,
again,
he balls out when he does.
I'd be interested to see if one of you guys wants to look it up, how many games he's actually played.
Oh, I
in
have those
comparison.
numbers.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
Scotty.
I have
have
all
them up?
that. I did research. LaMelo has missed a third of the games this year.
Yeah. Okay.
He's missed
See,
14 games.
Okay.
So, but he's also shooting 33% from three. He's
Jeez.
taking 12 threes a game. He's shooting 41% from the field. Like, if you look at the other people that made it, you have Lillard, who's shooting 45%. He's got a higher PER and a winner percentage. You have Darius Garland, who's shooting 50% overall and 42% from three. And you have Jalen Brunson, who's shooting almost 50% and 40% from three. I think the biggest thing, LaMelo missed too many games. You can't miss a third of the games. And his team is trash. The second best player on the team, Brandon Miller, is out for the season. So who else is going to score?
So it's
Your
kind of like
other
a
one
Cam Johnson, Brooklyn Nets kind of situation.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Your other one that people were saying is like Trae Young should have made it. He's averaging almost 5 turnovers a game. He's having the worst shooting season of his career. And
Yeah.
he's not better than Lillard, Garland, or Brunson. Tyler Hero is a better shooter than him. I think your only snub is Sabonis. He should have got in above Sengun. The only reason Sengun is in is because the Rockets are in second place and the Kings are in 10th. Like, Sabonis is averaging he's averaging 14.5 rebounds a game. He's leading the league. His stats are 21 points a game, 14.5 rebounds a game, 6.6 assists, shooting 61% from the field, 48% from three. Like, he is absolutely killing it. How is he not in the All-Star game?
You know who else is a stud?
I have some more complaints about the All-Star game.
Send it. Please send it. I'm excited.
Go.
The All-Star game has 12 players. Every NBA team has 15. Why?
Good question.
Like, why not have the extra 3 players? Everybody always talks about there's snubs. There's 1 or 2 snubs. Put it to 15. Who cares? If you're doing this 4-on-4 or this whatever tournament, just make it 16 players then.
Yeah.
Have some people coming off the bench.
That's what they have this year. It's 8
they have
players. It's 8 players, 5-on-5, 3 on the bench.
Okay, yeah. So
Wemby's a reserve.
Yeah.
No, Wemby's playing the Rising Stars.
Okay.
Team. But really, why not make it 15? They actually asked Durant about this recently. And apparently in 2K, they ask you if you want to have 15 players on the All-Star game. And he said, yeah, I always do it. Why would you not do it? So
it's a
really
fair point.
Make the All-Star game more players. Like, you can't tell me that there's not 2 or 3 players on each side that doesn't deserve it.
Yeah. Fair.
You know what's not flaccid? Anytime Scott Berman pulls stats out, because that gets you going. Anytime I hear him,
from 6 to midnight.
He is the Marshall Mathers Slim Shady of spit and stats, man. I'm telling you, anytime he has a stat that he's looking up, boom, 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 boom.
It just Sabonis is the one that it really upsets me because
that's bullshit.
Every single stat from Sabonis is better than Sengun, but the fact that the Kings are terrible is why he's not. And which kind of is weird because if the Kings were in the East, they would be like the 5th seed. They'd be like the 5th or 6th seed. But because they're in the West and they're a selling team this year, that's why he didn't make it. It's stupid.
Yeah, that's the thing. The West has always, I don't want to say always, but statistically have always produced better records than the East. You know, it's facts. And yes, had the Kings been in the East, you probably would have seen a Sabonis on the All-Star game. But That young man is just way too talented and having just a career year to have him not participate in the All-Star game. I thought I second your disgruntledness, I'll just say, why he was not on the team. So Dan's over there giggling away.
He's better than his dad.
He is better.
Oh man, hold on. All right. He's more athletic, he's more talented, but man, a lot of people forget what Arvydas Sabonis could accomplish. And he accomplished that at the ripe old age at 67 years old when he got here. Now, he wasn't that old, but he did get here late. No, he got here late. So he didn't get to the NBA until later. So if he would have came to the NBA, I would say he would have had a career that rivaled his son's. But he looked like a regular guy. Did you ever see Sabonis? He looked like a normal guy. Like he looked like.
Oh, you mean like Jokic? He just looks like a normal guy.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. Him and Jokic look like the same, not identical, but same present aura. Same aura. I'll say that. My eyeballs got way too big for that statement. Bottom line, this should be an interesting All-Star game. Granted, we say that every year, but it'll be interesting nonetheless. Given the rule change, given Matas in it, given that we still don't know who's shooting threes this year, but will be fun. I'll watch it. Moving on to our next topic, it segues into the All-Star game. It's another long segue. Deal with it. It's fine. One of my favorite events, and it's very underrated and underappreciated, is the Celebrity All-Star Game. And as you know,
I don't care about it.
All right, well, fine.
I never have, and I never will. I don't know why they do it.
I
sorry,
love it.
proceed. Sorry.
I love it. But it ties into our next segment. It's everybody's favorite segment. It's called Mount Hornsmore, where we take the top 5 of our favorite things and we rank them in any particular order you want. And this week's Mount Hornsmore is a celebrity that we all know loves basketball. He's featured in almost every single one of his movie playing basketball. And that is the man, the myth, the legend, the great Adam Sandler. So, gentlemen, given his love for basketball, I want to do the top 5 greatest Adam Sandler movies.
Okay. Okay.
It'll be harder than you think.
No, I know, because like the top 3, like I can think of 3 off the top of my head. I'm just like, yeah, those are for sure like top 5.
Well, you need 2 more.
But yeah, that's the thing. Then it gets a little tricky.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, go ahead.
Okay, so obviously Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
Billy Madison.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Big Daddy in there.
Okay.
See, and then it gets tricky because like he's made so many bad movies lately.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but I want to, and I bet you I'm gonna fucking love it. The Uncut Gems movie.
Oh, I saw it. It was all right.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Or are we doing just comedies?
No, and if he was in the movie as a main character, it's his movie.
Reign of Fire.
I've never seen that.
Dude, that movie is depressing.
Okay.
Adam Sandler is amazing in it.
Fifth and
my
final
last one, Jack and Jill. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Put your thumb back down. It's trash. I'll say Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds was a very underappreciated movie. I love that movie. That's a great movie. Solid list. Scotty B, what is your favorite, top 5 favorite for that matter, Adam Sandler movies? We'll reset the hand.
First, when I thought you were talking about basketball, I thought you were going to say Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, Rain Man. Rain. That's a great movie.
Little Nicky.
Ooh,
will always be number 1 for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Billy Madison.
Yep.
Airheads.
Ooh, Airheads.
Oh my
yes.
God, I forgot he was in that.
Great movie.
It's a great movie. Johnny can't read.
Grown Ups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck, I feel like I need to redo my list. Like take Mr. Deeds out.
Like I know it's not a classic, but I liked Hotel Transylvania.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Like it's not like Mr. Deeds or his classics like Waterboy
Right.
and
Right.
Ooh, I forgot.
Waterboy.
what Happy Gilmore and stuff like that, but I enjoyed it.
All right. That's a solid list. See, here's the thing. Like, I'm going to give a top 5. If we're giving a top 5 list, it's my personal opinion. Obviously, everyone knows how great Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Waterboy was. But for me, just movies that I was able to watch on repeat over and over. Number 1, Happy Gilmore. Great movie. Probably one of his better movies. Number 2, I'm going to group them together, would be the grown-up movies. I'd put them up there with some of my favorite movies of all time. Number 3, this is going to piss you guys off because it was so terrible that it was great. You Don't Mess with the Zohan. I love that. I love
that movie.
Dude, that's a great movie. That is a great. No.
That's like a movie you put on at 3 a.m. because there's nothing else going on.
I put that at 3 p.m. and I forego any events that follow that just to watch that movie.
It's probably on Comedy Central at 3 p.m. So
yeah, exactly. Number 4, here's a movie you guys didn't mention and very underrated movie, and it was a role that he's not used to playing, and that was Hustle. You guys see Hustle?
I meant, yeah, when I said Uncut Gems,
that's the basketball movie, right?
I meant Hustle.
Yeah, Hustle is where he's a scout for the 76ers. He goes over the overseas. He finds Bo Cruz, played by Juancho Herman Gomez, actual NBA player, and basically brings him overseas. I think it is actually a true story. Brings him overseas, brings him from basically a street baller, and brings him into the league as a professional. It is a great movie. And number 5, it's hard to say. Waterboy's good. I don't like any of his newer movies. That's the thing. I don't want to say Waterboy just for the sake of saying Waterboy. Billy Madison.
His newer movies with Jennifer
Aniston.
Oh, yeah, I mean they're decent. Like, just go with it. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Movie.
I'll give one more and then I'll give an honorable mention. Probably my tried and true favorite would be Mr. Deeds, just because I feel it's so underappreciated. And we don't watch it enough to draw the energy out of it. I don't know, to lessen the hype. But my honorable mention, okay, this movie is severely underrated, and that is Click.
That movie, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's underrated. The movie is great.
Not better than The Wedding Singer.
It's not.
Oh, we forgot The Wedding Singer.
Let me. I am officially taking Mr. Deeds out and putting Wedding Singer in, because that is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies of all time. I can't believe I forgot about it. Oh my God, I'm mad at myself.
All right, Dan Gracie, you've hit the reset button, and we will allow you to redo your list. Go right ahead when you're ready.
All right, so I'm gonna do Billy, Happy, Wedding Singer,
Wedding
Airheads.
Singer.
Airheads, and then I'm still gonna put in Rain of Fire. No, I'm still gonna put in Rain of Fire.
Good.
That movie's good. Don Cheadle and Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay, that's a solid list. Damn, Scott, man, I forgot all about Wedding Singer, and that is
looking
probably
at the list of his movies right now. That's why.
Yeah. Any other like gems that we didn't really catch on?
I mean,
Little Nicky is
Anger Management was good.
Yeah.
Anger Management, that is good.
Sal, Hustle was not based on a true story.
It was not? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Punk Drunk Love, that's actually a decent movie.
Never seen
it. I heard that's a good movie. His serious movies he's a good serious actor.
What about the Halloween one where it was like Dewey Halloween?
That was
Huey Halloween. It was terrible.
Garbage. That was terrible.
It was terrible.
I do have an Adam Sandler story.
Ooh, story time with Scott. Send it.
Yeah, so one of my wife's friends, Dan knows them, Trisha and Kyle. So Kyle told Trisha he has a surprise for her. She made her, like, he blindfolded her, like, said they were going to this place, He drove. I think they drove for like an hour.
Mhm.
They get to where they're going to be. I think it was like near her birthday or something like that. And they get there. She takes the blindfold off, and he's like, "We're going to see Uncut Gems, and there's a Q&A after with Adam Sandler." And she just like
telling the story.
didn't know how to react and almost started crying. He was so excited.
Yeah. Yeah,
What a
Tricia
gift.
wasn't too happy about that, right? Like
No.
not as excited as Kyle was.
I don't think anybody can be as excited as Kyle for that.
That
Maybe
is
Tricia
true.
if she saw Steven Seagal.
Oh, I was gonna say
But-
just a mannequin.
Yeah. Steven Seagal, lawman. You got, yeah, wow. Yeah.
Steven Seagal. So
You know what we're gonna do next?
We're not
next
doing a
list-
Steven Seagal. We're not doing Steven.
No. He's got like 3 movies: Under Siege,
Yeah.
Under Siege 2.
Whoa. He's got so many movies and he does the same thing. His later movies, he's literally doing kung fu without moving, but he's beating everybody. It's great.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to watch the worst movie, like worst kung fu movies ever, watch those movies. They're so bad. It's great.
Okay. He was a lawman down in New Orleans or Louisiana, wherever it was. That show was great.
Now I'm pretty sure like Russia is like funneling money through him to make terrible movies.
Allegedly.
I thought he was in North Korea.
Whatever.
Also allegedly.
Some communist country is like funneling money for like laundering money for him to make terrible movies.
All alleged.
Debatable.
Yeah, debatable. But allegedable. Allegedable? Yeah, well, whatever. Allegedable. No, what I was actually going to say is the next time we do this, we need to rank like top 5 greatest. I don't even want to spoil it. Whatever. Top 5 greatest like comedians in movies. You know what I mean? Like your Jim Carreys, your Adam Sandler, your Robin Williams, Chris Farley's.
We should just do stand-up comics.
Oh, I can't do that. I'll piss a lot of people off with my list.
Because Louis C.K.'s in it. Louis
Not
C.K.
just-
was hilarious.
I know, but people don't like him. But anyway, that was Mount Hornsmore. Fans, if you'd like to participate in Fans Hornsmore, leave your Hornsmore, your list in the comment section down below. If you want a Hornsmore read on the air and us to do your Hornsmore, also include it in the comment section down below, and we'll be happy to accommodate that. But gentlemen, I know we're all happy and hyped up now that we just that Scott was rifling off stats and great stories, and Adam Sandler. It was great atmosphere, but unfortunately, I have to suck the life out of this atmosphere and say it's time for that sad, sad time of the day where we say goodbye to our fans and our Horniacs. So, Dan Gracie, what do you have for the fans before we get out of here?
Yeah, I got nothing really going on right now. I have food for me waiting outside. So
I gotta
I'm looking forward to eating.
Yeah. What'd you
But
get?
other than that,
What'd you
I
get?
got a local restaurant called Meat and Potatoes.
Ooh, yes. Okay. What'd you get from there?
I got buffalo chicken fries because they're known
Okay.
for their fries and everything. So, and you can get them any style you want. You can get crinkle cut,
Waffle.
wedge, waffle.
Oh,
I went with waffle.
Yes, I love a good waffle fry.
Yeah, for this I did waffle because you can also do curly fry. Their curly
Plus,
fries are.
It's a good platform to carry.
Yeah,
hold this
yeah.
stuff on.
That's why I did it because it's a sturdier fry.
It's a sturdier platform. It's
You know,
almost like it was built for it.
Well, it's not.
It's not flaccid.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably flaccid now because they've been sitting.
Why didn't you bring them inside?
What do you mean?
You could have
We
brought
got-
them inside. Oh, you brought them inside. They're in your house. Okay, I thought it was like in
Yeah.
your front door.
No,
Oh, I'm like, go get it. It's like 13 degrees outside.
no.
Scott Berman, what do you have? Closing statements. Please tell me it's more stats.
No.
Okay. Damn.
This is not. This is going to be an attack on Dan.
Oh
If you
boy.
if you get Indian food, do not get butter chicken. There's so
Why?
much better chicken. There's so much better food if you're getting Indian food.
Well, I
There
know.
is.
I've had
Don't
like
get
curries
masala.
and-
Don't waste your time on masala. Make
I
sure
love
you
masala.
always get lamb or goat. It's so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Biryani's delicious. If you can get sag,
Why is this
get
towards
it.
me? Why is this
Because you just seem like someone that only eats butter chicken or chicken tikka masala.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
Yeah,
Try
I feel it.
other things at Indian restaurants. It's so good.
I want to go to an Indian restaurant. I haven't had Indian food in like, I don't know, like 5 years. But the last time I went, it was the place in Gurnee. And
That place
it
is
was like,
terrible. The biryani point, awful. Don't waste your time.
that was it. That was it. I mean, the food was
Yeah.
good, I thought, but like portions and price,
Yeah,
I hated it.
It's not
I
good.
hated it.
But lamb or goat is where you got to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like when, like, this is my personal opinion, when people order like butter chicken or tikka masala, that's like people when they want to eat Italian food, they just say, I'm going to eat some Italian food. I'm going to get chicken Alfredo. You know what I mean? That's like their generic. I love chicken Alfredo as well.
No, there's better Italian food out there.
There's better Italian food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah,
spaghetti and meatballs. Lasagna.
All right.
Sorry,
Danielle.
That's all I have is stop getting butter chicken, stop getting chicken tikka masala, actually try something else if you're going to an Italian or Indian restaurant. And like Sal said, if you're going to an Italian restaurant, get eggplant parmesan. It's the best.
Yeah, it's not bad.
If you can get a place that makes good eggplant parmesan, it's so good.
Oh yeah, I agree. Oh wow, now I'm hungry. Good thing it's dinner time. As for me, the only thing I have is I mentioned it on our live. Tune into our lives. We love doing those lives. It's fun. We play games. We answer your questions. We have a good time. But this is a little bit more on the serious note. I'm happy to announce that with all of your help, we have successfully achieved 500 subscribers and counting. And again, I know you guys may not think that 500 subscribers is a lot, considering that nowadays, you know, there's thousands of it's a lot to us. And even the fact that you guys watch one episode, interact with one video, whatever, it just means the world to us. And please do continue to keep subscribing, commenting, and participating in those shorts that I put out. They've been having some good success. So, and we thank each and every one of you guys. Thank you very much. Help us march towards getting that silver play button. That's the only goal that I have, is getting that play button. I'm going to hang it right there.
How many is that?
100,000.
Oh, we're at 570. We're almost there, guys.
We're almost there.
Getting there.
Come on, with your help. It's going to be like a telethon. Please donate your subscription. Help us get this. I'm not trying to make light of that situation, but anyway, thank you for that. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we do post daily games. I've been doing guess the NBA player based on the clues, and now I've even been throwing in guess the NBA player based on the former teams they've played for. They're all really fun. We get a good turnout for it, so tune in and give your play along rather. As far as anything else, just I got nothing, you know. Just thank you guys for helping us out along the way and taking time out of your day to spend it with a couple of friends of mine. We enjoy doing this. So with all that being said, with all being spoken, we encourage our Bulls fans and our Horniacs and Matas Buzelis, see red, go Bulls, and good luck, Matas, in the dunk contest. I can't wait to see him hoist that trophy. Good night, everybody.